I look at the house is burning, the transformer explodes and the trees are on fire.
Really not meant for normal people to view and to be a part of child exploitation.
So I went from Christmas vacation with the family to I'm dealing with a suicide.
So when we experience some sort of traumatic situation, we kind of become disconnected from our bodies.
Things that would be a once or twice in a lifetime nightmare become everyday occurrences.
Any moment, like, you could face any adversity in this job.
Most people do it because they want to help others.
Like, what do I do with the adrenaline I'm feeling? What do I do with the confusion I'm experiencing?
These people that are supposed to be helping us, who helps them?
We're so good at doing what we're trained to do, and that is to respond, to protect people, to try and save lives. You know, that stuff takes a mental toll.
I started when I was 14 and I'm 50 years old now. And I've got wagons full of trauma.
Some parts of my job, you come home and you feel like you have an 800-pound gorilla on your back.
I've seen the divorces, I've seen the broken relationships, I've seen guys that have killed themselves or too much alcohol.
Toughing it out might be some manly thing to do, but it's not the long-term healthy thing to do.
We not only treat trauma with psychotherapy, but we treat trauma with mindfulness, yoga, biofeedback.
Programs like the ones that Sunny is running is imperative to law enforcement nowadays.
There's so many times that, you know, that so many of us have gone into a room by ourselves and closed the door and, you know, we shut the lights off and we cried.
Like get up, get some help before you're in trouble.
Sonny's done this job. It does give you that next level of trust because you know you're telling someone a story that other person absolutely knows because they've done 100 of those themselves.
He knows that cops make mistakes, they've been through a lot, they've seen a lot, they've done a lot. They don't always walk a perfectly straight and narrow path. And he was a cop.
It makes all the difference that he's been in their shoes. He did 10 years on the road. You know, he's seen it all, from fatals to domestics.
Because he really kind of opens your mind to, all right, what is stress? How do you deal with it? How does it actually affect your body? So that we understand, coming out of an incident, why we feel the way we do.
It's like, oh my God, I'm going in and I'm going to lay down on this couch and I'm going to bare my soul. It's not like that at all.
It's not a question of our first responders still stigmatizing mental health and mental wellness. America still stigmatizes it.
You want people to feel like you're a tough guy and I can take it, and I can, but it has baggage.
We're only human. I mean, this isn't a job where you put on a vest and a badge and, you know, all of a sudden you're Superman. Like, it just doesn't work that way.
To have a person like Sonny here is an asset. He has an office here and he's available and he's trustworthy and compassionate.
Burlington Police Department is a progressive department that understands the value of putting their people first.
So I'm really grateful that the leadership in Burlington really took onto it.
We provide the education, the training, the treatment, the support, the advocacy for all of the members of that police department. And for the last 6 or 7 years, we can see the benefits have been, you know, tenfold.
There's nothing wrong with saying, you know what? I need to talk to someone and I need to sort a few things out in my life. That's the key to getting you to a good retirement, to getting you through a helpful career.
Sonny's approach is, how can we make you well?
We want to get to officers before they start even their first sleep cycle. We want to be able to identify if they have started any negative belief about themselves.
I was angry because I got to put my sons in there, I got to put my friends in there, and for this crap that we're dealing with, it's, you know, frankly, it's not worth it to me.
We will respond 24/7, 365, hours after a critical incident, and we will come and we will do interventions with your people, we do education, and then we will follow up with them to make sure that they are okay.
That's when I sent a note out to our chiefs. I said, whether you think you need any help or not, you need to be the example. And it must have hit a note because we had everybody show.
If you omit these early interventions, what happens is officers go home with this negative belief that I could have been killed, that I could have been injured.
All the baggage that you accumulate over your career ends up in the back of this tractor trailer.
You just offload some of it, you create a little bit more capacity for yourself. We're helping the emotional brain and the rational brain focus on a positive belief. EMD, being eye movement desensitization, taps into the same mechanism that our mind uses, and that is eye movements.
It causes thoughts that are bothering you to come to the front of your mind where you can think about them.
When we experience trauma, we ignore the connection of what's happening in our bodies.
The practice of yoga is one of the best ways to actually balance our nervous system.
You don't need to wear stretchy pants to practice yoga.
It takes 5 years to learn the ropes, to learn where everything is, to learn how we operate, to get the training and the skills, and then you're going to flush it away over an incident.
Not only have you done a tremendous disservice to them, but you've also just cost your agency a whole ton of money for somebody that can't work anymore.
So if you're not going to invest in mental health, all the money in the world doesn't replace your team. If no one is willing to go down and join and put the hours in to do the job and get the training, you've got nothing.
My goal is to educate people, let them know there's resources at, and let them know that we really know how to treat trauma quickly and effectively.